Okay, so today we're going to deal with quadratic simultaneous equations, right? As you can see, we've been given two different equations. We've got equation one, which is 3x is equals to y plus 4. So we come here, we say dot, 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 and then we indicate that this is the first equation. Then we come to the second equation, which is y squared. And it is because of this y squared which makes it a quadratic simultaneous equation. And when we say quadratic, it means that we are going to look for what? For two solutions. Right? So we come here, we say y squared minus xy is equals to 9x plus 7. We say dot, 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 and then we say this is equation number 2. Now, if you watched the first video, you would remember that this is what I stated. I stated that amongst the two equations that we are provided, what is it that we need? We need to figure out that which equation is easier for us to work in the form of what? Either we can say x is equal to or y is equal to, then whereby we transpose everything to the right hand side. So if I check here, this is y squared, it's complicated. I've got xy, it's complicated. I've got 9x, which is complicated. But if I come to the first equation, I have this part which is saying y. So if I transpose this positive 4, it becomes negative 4. So in other words, I now take that part of saying that I've got y is equal to. Now this is the 3x, or let me do it the way it is there. So I transpose, it becomes 3x. If I transpose this positive 4, it becomes a negative 4. So I'm having y, which is equals to 3x minus 4. Then I come here, I say dot, dot, dot. This is equation number 3. So wherever I'm going to find y, I no longer write y. I'm now going to substitute and place 3x minus 4. And since I took this equation number 3 from equation number 2, I'm now going to use, where am I going to substitute the y's? I'm going to be using equation number 2. Wherever I see y, like here, there is y squared. So now I say 3x minus 4 squared. This is the y. Minus x multiplied by, there is y here. Then the y is now 3x minus 4, which is equals to 9x plus 7, like that. Now, what is the first step? Remember, when you are given open bracket 3x minus 4 close bracket squared, it means that you have got 3x minus 4, the first bracket, and another 3x minus 4, the second bracket. This is what this squared means. Minus, now, x, open bracket, 3x minus 4, which is equals to 9x plus 7. From there, now I have to expand these terms, these binomials. So now I say 3x multiplied by 3x, it gives me 9x squared. Then positive multiplied by negative, it gives me a negative 3 multiplied by 4, it gives me a 12. And there is an x, so it's negative 12x. And then here I've got negative times positive, which is a negative, and 4 by 3, which is 12. And then there is x, there's no x, which means that there is an x. Negative multiplied by negative, it gives me a positive, and 4 by 4 is equals to 16. Now, what am I going to do? I've got minus x here, so this is one term. So now I say negative x multiplied by this positive 3x, which gives me negative 3x squared. Then this negative multiplied by that negative, it gives me a positive, and 4 multiplied by x, which is 4x, which is equals to 9x plus 7. As things stand, on this left-hand side, what am I going to do? I'm going to look for what? For like terms. And if you check the first term that we have, we've got what? 9x squared. This 9x squared has got a like term in what? In negative 3x squared. So if I say 9 minus 3, it gives me 6, which means that I'm left with 6x squared. And then what do? Using a pencil, I now tick these two so that I don't repeat them. Now I come here, I've got negative 12x, and positive 4x. So negative 12 and negative 12, it gives me negative 24. And negative 24 plus 4, it gives me negative 20. So I've got negative 20x. So I tick them so that I don't repeat them. And then I've got this constant, which is 16. But before I go and write constant 16, I'm going to transpose this positive 9 because it's a like term of negative 20x. It was a positive 9x. When I transpose it, it becomes a negative. So now I've got a negative 9x here. Then I only write positive 16. I transpose the positive 7, it becomes a negative 7, which is now equal to 0. So now I come here now, I say I've got 6x squared, which does not have another like term. So 6x squared. When I say negative 20 and negative 9, it gives me negative 29. Negative 29 what? Negative 29x. And when I say 16 minus 7, what do I get? I think I get 9, right? So I've got a positive 9 here, which is equal to 0. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to look at my numbers. I've got 6, 29, and 9. And these numbers, they don't have any common factor other than 1. So as things stand, in order for things to make sense to me, what do? Then I now use the quadratic formula so that I can solve for x, right? So when I'm going to use my quadratic formula, remember, what is the quadratic formula? The quadratic formula is when we say that x is equals to negative, open bracket, b, close bracket, plus or minus, and then the root of b squared minus 4ac, right, all over 2a. So in this particular case, your number 6, positive 6 is the a, this negative 29 is the b, and this positive 9 is the c. So now I'm not going to say that I've got negative, open bracket, I've got a negative 29, I write plus or minus, then I write root. My b squared is negative, open bracket, negative 29, close bracket, squared, minus 4 multiplied by a, my a, which is 6, multiplied by my c, which is positive 9. Then this is all over what? This is all over 2 multiplied by a. My a is 6. So is equal to 0. Remember, we're continuing with this equation. Now, if I come here and I say negative times negative, it gives me a 29. I still have got a plus or minus. And then now I have to go to the calculator so that I may seek negative 29 squared. So I open the bracket. Then I say negative 29, close bracket, squared is equal to 841. But I think the best thing to do at this stage is just to put everything on the calculator and then we find our answer. So I'm going to say this. I've got a positive 29 and a plus. So I'm going to find the answer for plus first. Then I say square root of what? Open bracket, negative 29, close bracket, squared. Then minus 4 multiplied by a, which was 6, close bracket, multiplied by our c, which is positive 9, all over 2 multiplied by 6, and 2 multiplied by 6, we know that it's 12, right? Then we say is equal to, it's giving us an error. Let's just confirm, did we make any mistake here? 29, oh yes, there is an error. I didn't close this bracket here. I was supposed to close the bracket before the squared. Then we do this. So when it's a positive, we get 9 over 2, right? So in other words, we are now simply saying that we've got open bracket, x minus 9 over 2 is equal to 0, or we go and we check when it's a negative. When it's a negative, then it tells us what is the answer. So we place a negative there, then which gives us a third, which is x minus a third is equal to 0. Therefore, our x is equals to 9 over 2, or our x is equals to 1 over 3. Right? So now, this is how this is the first answer when you find x and the first x and the second x, right? We have found the two solutions. Then from there, what do? You now take this x is equals to third and x, which is 9 over 2. You now substitute into any equation, and then you'll find what will be your y values. So that's what we'll do on the second video. Thank you.